Hi, I'm Emma and this is my reflection. This week's module was a little more frustrating than the past ones. I did have a little bit of a tricky experience with the LMS system, but it wasn't too bad. As far as the online learning for students K through 12, I'm not quite sure how I feel 100% about that. I definitely want to look into it a little bit more, but I don't think I see it as beneficial for elementary or like junior high students as I do high school students. I think it would be better served for a high schooler versus like an elementary student. I think an elementary age student would benefit more from face-to-face teaching or instruction versus completely online. But I do think certain aspects of online learning can be used for elementary students, like if you could create a classroom on I used Emoto for mine, so I could do it for an elementary class and have them do like a discussion board type activity or a little quiz. But I don't think I would do like a full-on online class kind of structure for elementary students. I think it would be better for an older group of students. I think schools should require high school students to complete an online class before they graduate. I think the more popular online classes are in college, that students should just be prepared for that. A big part of high school is to get you ready for college, and if you're going to be introduced to college classes that are online, I think you should be prepared and ready and have the knowledge of how to do a classroom online before you get to college. I just think it would help that transition being a little more smooth. I know being an online student, by now I have it kind of down because I've done it for a while, but when I first started it was a little overwhelming. I didn't really know how to navigate the website, and I didn't know where to find all my resources, and it just took a little bit of time to get used to. And I think if I had had that experience in high school where I could maybe ask a teacher for guidance along the way, it would be a little easier once I got to college to transition to being fully online. So I do think it would be beneficial for states to require that for high school students. The LMS system was a little frustrating. I chose Emoto, like I said, and created a class. I couldn't quite figure out how to edit the description of my class or my group or whatever. It kept saying I was a ninth grade language arts, and I kept wanting to change that, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So it says that, but that's not what I was going for. I did like certain parts of it. I liked how you could just upload worksheets and send a message to all your students and say, here, you could either print this worksheet and scan it and upload it, or complete it on the computer. However you want to complete it, just do this worksheet and submit it by this date. I did like that. It cuts down on paper copies, unless of course they print it. But as a teacher, I don't have to have all these copies physically in my classroom ready to hand out to these students. And I did like the quizzes and the discussion board aspect of it. I think like a quick little review quiz at the end of class or the beginning of class to see where students are is very beneficial, and just a quick, efficient way to gauge where they're at. And I love discussion boards on Blackboard. I think it's a great way to get to know your students a little better. And if you do have an online class completely, I do think it's a good way to get students to interact with each other. So I do think I could use it as a future educator. I just don't know if I would use it as much in the elementary setting as I would in an older classes setting. Thank you.